Hello, everyone, and I trust you're having a good day. Upon departing from a narcissist, an intricate narrative unfolds, revealing the 4 tumultuous phases they undergo, a parallel to the labyrinthine journey of a survivor navigating myriad stages post-narcissistic entanglement. What emerges as intriguing is the absence of emotional depth in the narcissist's traversal through these stages. No remorse, no grief, no inkling of culpability. These uncharted territories into the enigmatic psyche of the narcissist shall serve as the centerpiece of our discussion today. Greetings, I'm Danish, an expert in the realm of narcissistic abuse recovery. In our upcoming exploration, we shall dissect the 4 distinct phases encapsulating a narcissist's trajectory upon severance from their primary supply. Should this tantalize your curiosity and stoke the flames of knowledge, I invite you to consider subscribing to our channel before delving deeper. Your subscription acts as a beacon, spreading awareness about the intricate complexities of narcissistic abuse. Let us commence this expedition by immersing ourselves in a succinct yet enlightening video clip, aiming to shed light on these intricacies. The torment inflicted upon me is indescribable, the sudden abandonment, the dissolution of our relationship, stemming from her excessive control, stifling my very existence. Ironically, she masterminded the severance between my children and me, obliterating any semblance of a bond. I'm left adrift, severed from any connection with them. I feel compelled to showcase the extraordinary individual I've encountered. She, unlike her, epitomizes perfection. #perfect partner, #new beginnings. It is crucial she witnesses this spectacle. Her lasting influence remains undeniable. I relish my newfound happiness devoid of her presence. Why hasn't my former source attempted reconciliation? Non-compliance won't fare well. She must remain within my sphere. Her birthday approaches. Perhaps a cryptic, incongruous message about her dog or an ominous call will provoke the desired response. Yes, that will incite a reaction. It's unfair. How can she move on so swiftly with someone else? The world needs to know her true essence. She must endure hardship. Let me involve her acquaintances and family, unraveling stories of her supposed madness, urging them to abandon and isolate her. Yes, the whispers have begun. Beware of associating with her. She's unhinged. Yes, let us commence with the initial phase. Number 1. Instigating envy, transiting into the second phase, constitutes their attempt to ignite this covetousness. A recurrent assertion prevails. A narcissist's reliance leans more on your reactions than their actions impact you. Their preoccupation with the intricacies of your life outweighs the imprint of theirs upon yours. Proof abounds in their fervid urge to disseminate images featuring their new supply, inundating social platforms and assorted arenas. But why? The simple purpose is to inflict anguish, aware that this triggers enduring self-doubt, breeding queries like, did I fall short? Why does their joy appear so effortless with this new figure? Does their elation denote superiority? Did I falter in meeting their needs? They embark on ventures with this new individual, activities you yearn to share, fulfilling long-held desires. This realization can be immensely dispiriting. Countless individuals confront me, questioning. They're now embracing everything I implored for. Why the vacations, the social media snippets, integrating into each other's families, while you perennially remained on the sidelines? What's the agenda? It's to impede your healing. The narcissist craves to intertwine in your life more than in the life ostensibly crafted with their fresh supply. It epitomizes their punitive nature, a penchant for vengeance. Having lost control due to your implementation of no contact or the discard, they resort to retribution. Their soulless and faceted approach flaunts a facade online, depicting a joy seemingly surpassing anything experienced with you, repudiating any affiliation with you. Should this echo your experiences, it's imperative not to accord it credence. Recognize it for what it truly is, a staged performance, a meticulously orchestrated drama intended for an audience. Number 2, perpetually assuming the role of the eternal victim in the face of circumstances. Upon your departure from their orbit, they transform into ceaseless victims of their circumstances. Diligently, they weave an intricate web of deception, constructing a narrative where every strand is spun from their skewed reality. To anyone within earshot, they recount the same sorrowful tale, all with one aim: to cast you as the villain while painting themselves as pitiable souls subjected to abuse, exploitation, and the epitome of righteousness. They seek salvation, and unfortunately, empathetic souls often fall prey to their scheme, unaware of the whirlpool they're about to enter, for the pattern is destined to repeat itself, albeit with another unsuspecting individual. The narcissist, however, never reflects, never contemplates their part in orchestrating the circumstances. They perpetually lament their situation, fixated solely on the suffering imposed upon them. In reality, it's their narcissistic wound they mourn. For narcissists, abandonment constructs a narrative that vilifies and demonizes the departing party, absolving themselves of any responsibility for their actions and conduct. One might ponder amidst their spree of self-victimization. Do narcissists genuinely believe their fabrications? Undoubtedly, they do. Entangled in a cycle of self-deception, they convince themselves that they are victims of the other's actions, abandoned, victimized, isolated, and further estranged. Elaborating on their narrative of isolation, they feign sorrow over their absence from their children's lives, wallowing in self-pity, yet making minimal effort to consistently engage as present parents, despite ample opportunities to rectify their stance and appear blameless. They might craft boastful, extravagant stories, pinning the breakup on the partner's alleged infidelity, attempting to assert their superiority while concealing their own transgressions. They never unveil the complete truth, never confess to their own unfaithfulness, betrayals, shattered trust, and the maltreatment they inflicted upon their partner. Instead, they must maintain an illusion of grandeur and faultlessness, deflecting culpability by projecting blame onto the other individual. This facade of victimhood is at the core of their deception. Number 3. Entering the third phase of dealing with a narcissist involves the commencement of hoovering, a stage marked by potential attempts at reconciliation. As the individual evolves and liberates themselves from the confines imposed by the narcissist, a sense of fear arises within the narcissist. Witnessing someone they once held captive break free terrifies them. Their desire to maintain control and sustain the suffering of others stems from a craving for supremacy and dominance. The narcissist possesses an innate predatory instinct that enables them to sense and monitor your life's progression even without direct knowledge. Expect unexpected messages or cryptic communications during pivotal moments of elation or empowerment, such as your birthday or significant milestones. These messages aim to probe your emotional state and pull you back into their cycle, hindering your progress. Number 4. My encounters with narcissists have been fraught with situations where I'd resisted their advances, leading to retaliation in the form of a vicious smear campaign. When a narcissist fails in their attempts to regain control through love bombing during hoovering, their response transforms into raging hostility, culminating in a malicious campaign. Unable to exercise direct control, the narcissist manipulates how others perceive you. They reach out to your circle, weaving a web of lies aimed at isolating you. This strategy, unfortunately, succeeds at times, leaving survivors of narcissistic abuse deeply isolated precisely when they need support the most. In professional settings, a smear campaign can bring chaos and turmoil when a colleague manipulates your employer with falsehoods. However, this situation has a silver lining, as it often filters out those who don't deserve a place in your life. Those who side with the narcissist's tale are mere pawns, lacking the genuineness of true friendship. In the wake of liberating myself from the clutches of an insidious and manipulative roommate characterized by traits of malignant narcissism and sociopathy, I encountered a subsequent endeavor on his part to establish contact with my new living companions. This occurrence unfolded during my penultimate year in college, thrusting me into the continued presence of a hostile atmosphere. My appreciation overflows for the unwavering solidarity of my newfound roommates, who remained impervious to his concocted narratives concerning my character. Despite being inundated with absurd tales from this disturbed individual, they remained steadfast and resolute in their support for me. His maneuvers lacked logical coherence. However, his primary aim was unmistakable: to manipulate them into severing ties with me, endeavoring to annul our arrangement by feeding them fabrications. Astonishingly, they opted to dismiss his falsehoods and chose to persist in living alongside me, culminating in a profound defeat for the narcissistic individual. At the heart of his predicament lies the absence of emotional progression, a dearth of stages such as grief, anguish, confusion, or existential crisis. Their detachment from genuine connections translates swiftly to a lack of love or empathy. Frequently, the question arises regarding whether they undergo the same pain and turmoil as victims do. Unfortunately, the answer resounds as a definitive negative, They effortlessly erase your existence from their consciousness, treating your memory akin to discarded waste. You hold no sway in their thoughts. They navigate through life in a detached manner, passively experiencing it rather than truly living. These personalities showcase an extreme dissociative nature, incapable of forging authentic emotional bonds, highlighting their predictable conduct. They adhere to a recurring pattern, initially assuming the victim role, subsequently attempting to incite jealousy. If unsuccessful, they resort to hoovering, seeking to draw you back into their sphere of influence. Should all else fail, they unleash extensive smear campaigns to besmirch your reputation. Thus concludes the present discourse. I extend my gratitude for your continued attention. As a token of appreciation, I present a complimentary guide addressing the top 10 queries commonly raised by victims of narcissistic abuse. You may access it by clicking the I button above or via the link provided in the description. Until our next interaction, I urge you to allow the healing process to commence and persist.